Hey everybody, welcome back to Super Auto Pets. It's a wild day. I just want to acknowledge like the test build with 58 new animals, something crazy like that, is out on web. We're not playing it right now. And the reason we're not playing it is because what a great name. Folded Arms is actually so much better. I can't believe I went with like the 20 IQ name when I could have gone with the Folded Arms. That's just like, that's even how I like to stand. Pardon me. Anyway, I guess I'm not making any sense. I didn't finish my coherent sentence. I played the test build all afternoon. The servers are so slow that, and this is not a knock on Teamwood, because I understand it's the test server. Like, it's where they're ironing out kinks and balance patches, and it's not really meant for prime time yet. But it's so slow that I'd say it's kind of like unplayable for leisure right now. It's more like for curiosity's sake. And there's a lot of cool new animals that are coming to this game. This is gonna drive you insane. I think if you can't, no, you could we'll just wait around. You're gonna be fine. The animals in the new patch. I mean, this is probably to some extent how I felt about the older versions of the game. You know, the first few times I played them, although that was so long ago as to defy memory at this point. But they're so complicated, and I mean that in the best way possible. Like, it took me so long just to parse what I thought would happen that it felt like, honestly, I feel a little drained. Not in the Meatloaf way, wherein I would do anything for love. He says, some days I don't at all, and these are the days that never end. But more so in, like, the, you know, like, in Space Jam, how the Monstars sap Patrick Ewing and, you know, Charles Barkley and Stephon Marbury and stuff like that of all their good basketball juice, and as a result, they find themselves weak and withered. Honestly, if you're sticking around, give me one of these. You can lose the B to get that. And roll me. Is real hard to say no to that. Is there perhaps anything we'd rather get first? Yeah, let's do this. Although now we're going to get 2 levels up next turn, which might not be exactly what we want. You could, I don't know, you could start to think about selling a cricket, keeping a turtle around. Nah, you'll get another turtle later, probably. But yeah, like I feel like, if anything, it's kind of nice to be back on the version of the game that I sort of understand, that could play with a little bit more muscle memory. The servers are still a little wonky, but they should be a little bit better at least. It's just interest, right? Like, you're suffering from success. Everybody that's ever taken an interest in Super Auto Pets wants to check out the animals. It's a natural human instinct. Why do you think I played it today? Well, I play it a lot of days, but I made a special case today for sure. A draw. Either way, it is what it is. I'm happy to see that it's on the horizon. I think you gotta go. And then indeed toss me a dolphin, and then indeed toss me a fish. We don't want a worm. We do want to keep scaling our fish right now, I think. I'd rather not take a salad. I'd rather, if possible, even an apple that we could target, knowing that it would go to the right unit, I think I would prefer. Get used to it. Take a deep breath. We're going to breathe through this, okay? The servers are going to be a little clunky today. We're in a weird position because this is the first day my daughter's been at daycare in like 12 days. There's been a nasty sort of something going around that, you know, it's not what you think. I think, because everybody now finally in BC has access to, like, you know, rapid testing. 7 HP? Let's take you up a level earlier. Okay. But she's been home for a long time, which is great. I've enjoyed having her here. Haven't been able to record as much as usual. Now, today is the first day that she went back, but believe it or not, I scheduled an important meeting for this afternoon several weeks ago, being like, well, she's been sick for like a week already. There's no way she'll still have like a runny nose that far into the future. True, but we only made it by 1 day. So, like, I gotta fit in a Super Auto Pets video if we got to deal with the clunky servers, you know, this is just what real life looks like. Cheers, brother. I'll drink to that. This is a Sparkmouth strawberry naturally flavored sparkling water, canned on Vancouver Island, I believe. Created and canned for Sparkmouth drinks. Oh, Vancouver, BC. I thought it was in Victoria. Look at that. It's right here. Okay, level up. I want another dolphin, or I want our dolphin to get stronger. I think you need this, but I would sell our cricket to run an eagle. We pay a small HP penalty, but we summon probably a much better unit when the eagle dies than we do when the cricket faints. And I gotta tell you, dude, the animals in the new patch, let me give you a little preview, okay? First off, there's all sorts of new foods. I'm not gonna talk about all of them, but there is a food that enables critical hits that give you a 50% chance to do double damage. I know that one's gonna be a little controversial. There's a new food called strawberries. What a strawberry does is it enables other animals that have strawberry-enabled buffs to buff, if that makes sense. So, for example, you give something a strawberry, a tier 1 unit that's 2/2 called a hummingbird, will give a strawberry friend, so another animal on the squad with a strawberry, a temporary 2/1 buff at the start of the battle. So you get, you know, you can start this is just the tier 1, tier 2 units we're talking about here. We haven't even gotten into the, I mean, don't even get me started on the new push mechanic. Don't even get me started on the new move mechanic. I mean, move and push, I guess, are like the same thing. But don't even get me started, I guess is all I'm saying. Don't even get me started. I like where we stand here. Keep buffing that fish. We need better scaling if we're ever gonna take this further. But for now, just give me a cupcake. I think what we would like to see is probably if we could sell our hatching chick in favor of a poodle. Then we'd be talking about, you know, some serious future potential. But our team's doing a great job right now. This is kind of a classic build. We're 6 wins away, which is still a long time. But we can keep buying a pair, though it's quite expensive. You know, it's tough for me to not take a bison here, but I just did it. I just did it. I think we gotta freeze you, and we're basically, you know, this is fine. This is fine. Freeze. Oh, wait, it's a poodle. Is the exact thing I asked for. You're 5, 4, 5, 1. Sell you, buy you. Make sure you buff the eagle instead. You're gonna be anti-scorpion protection. Are we getting rid of anything from this point forward? Unlikely. So we focus on buffing. Our squad is a little under, our stats are not great, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But I think they're gonna be better than a lot of the enemies we're going up against. You don't even have a honey badger. Okay, we come away with a draw. We're scaling thanks to the poodle, albeit a little slowly. I'm running out of things in my office to read. Why don't you take this? At least make yourself a little bit more useful. More poodles would also be great, don't get me wrong. As much as like cupcake garlic appeals to me, I'm gonna do it. As much as it appeals to me, I'm gonna do it. 1/1 times 4 scaling is not that awe-inspiring. We got super. Well, I guess it's not lucky because it was the. I mean, that's simply the way that the dolphin works. Is it attacks the weakest enemy. But if we had lost melon armor on our fish, that probably goes a little differently. I will say also from playing the new patch, I think it's got a really high skill floor, just to be honest, and in a good way. Like I feel like free to play is in a place right now that's, if you'll forgive this for sounding like criticism, which I guess it literally is, free to play's current position is not great in my opinion. Just because it's like scaling is king. Like you end up running up against teams that have like literally like 2 50-50s or more on turn 10. Like it can get a little nasty. Or that even if they're not 50-50s, functionally they're just, you know, one unit might be stronger than the rest of your team combined if you didn't get that early giraffe, penguin, like monkey combo. Pay to win, I think, is a little bit more variable. I think there's a little bit more, you know, there's some variety in the way that those builds go down right now. But in the new pack, eventually, I'm sure, like, and maybe there's patches to come as well, but eventually some equilibrium is going to get hit, don't get me wrong. But for now, it's crazy. Like, I was building teams where it was like, I was at 8 wins by turn 10, and my strongest unit was like a 10-10, just due to the effects of the animals instead. It feels a lot less, like, scaling focused, which I would say is absolutely for the best. Now, here we're on 5 wins. Let's focus on this run instead. There's also a cool animal. Like, they introduce so many mechanics that play around with things. Like, there's one animal that eats a food from the shop for free and doubles its effect at level 1. There's an animal that it gives you a buff that is based on the round that you're on. So the later the rounds are, the better the buff is. There's a lot of cool. There's animals that play off of what tier your shop is or when you hit that shop tier. My melon armor, excuse me. Hello. There's animals that no! I mean, there's a lot of cool animals, okay? Why are you trying to distract me with all this conversation about animals, okay? I'm just trying to have fun here. I'm just trying to understand. And remember, this is an example of Teamwood Games suffering from success. You know, the servers being a little wonky on the day that they released, which I haven't even mentioned this part yet, but essentially on a day where they released way more content than anyone expected. Like, I expected a new patch to be like 20 new animals, slightly spice up the meta. Clearly, I just don't understand how the game actually works. Because that doesn't make any sense now that I look at how it's structured and how the packs are divided so that you only get specific animals in each one. But still, this is like, that's 57, 58 new animals. That's a massive, like, content drop, man. That's crazy. Now, I wonder if round 14 is where we're getting close to that asymptote where us not having a super strong team is not actually that bad. You think? You think we could be at that point where all the teams that are in this pool would have already gotten to 10 wins or gotten to 0 HP by now, so we're only facing other middling teams? I have never even seen mathematical or scientific proof of the mediocre zone as existing. I've only seen it theorized in laboratories and scientific journals. But my personal hunch is that it may exist. It just makes sense to me when explained and discussed in first principles. It makes sense to me that that could be a real physical and maybe even a spiritual phenomenon. But we may be the brave astronauts discovering that for ourselves as we venture into that great wide open. We've gone further than round 14 before, but I mean, we have 6 wins and probably like 3 losses and a lot of draws. So we'll see. We would expect to still run into stronger and stronger teams, but maybe they won't be as strong as we would have expected the team that beat us last round to be on a future round if they had lived longer than this or not won prior to this. You understand what I'm saying? It's very simple, okay? It starts with, if you want to make an apple pie, first you gotta create the universe or something. Not like this, man. The chicken. Late game, if you make it into the mediocre zone, the chicken becomes like a god. I love that for me. We gotta try. Okay. This would be like the longest 6-win game you've ever seen in your life. I think we're gonna lose. Hold on, I burped. Wait, no, we're gonna draw exactly. What are the odds of that? 30-31 versus 30-31. Okay, buff me. Don't even freeze it, because I want more chocolate. Exactly. Roll me, I suppose. Roll me. I do want an eagle to get stronger, if possible. I mean, the whole squad is getting 3-3 every turn for free right now, except for our poodle. Oh no, we lost the damn stake, man. 50-50? What do you think this is? Joseph Gordon-Levitt's career? All right, 6 wins. The longest 6-win round you'll ever see. Make that the title and start me back up. One of these. Don't freeze honey. It's a bad habit. One of these, one of these. Now freeze honey because we're going to want to buy multiple good foods next turn. Maybe, maybe, maybe. Let's be gasping chunk. All the other names make me a little uncomfortable, honestly. I definitely, I say it every time. What do I say when we take a ladybug? If you take a ladybug, you're committing to losing round 1. It's like anti-flawless technology. But I think it's worth it for what you get out of it later. I'll just be honest, like, it's really hard to not give a mosquito that buff. The bad thing about multiple mosquitoes is they can overkill a unit. But if they only have 2 units, I'm feeling pretty good. We built like the perfect anti-otter squad. Let's go. Completely by accident, by the way. Let's level up once. Let's add a turtle to the team. They are indeed turtly enough for the turtle club. You know what? I think we would combine first. And then... It's a really, like, this is... People look at things, in my opinion, in like an unfair vacuum. This is not how this team is going to look next round. But for this round, even though it looks a little bit scuffed, this is what I think the ideal, like, permutation looks like. And I may be wrong. And look, I think we lose that one regardless of the order of our team, but now I don't have a leg to stand on. Are you going to stick around, or are we going to... Yeah, let's have you... Let's hit you with one of these. And then because you got melon armor, let's hit you with one of these. Buff our ladybug. None of the animals in the shop inspire me. They don't really get me going. In that case, why don't you take another buff? I know how this looks. It looks a little like, why would you do this? Why would you roll a 4 squad? Well, none of the other animals really, they don't get my blood pumping at all. I think you can, with food meta, if that's what we end up running here, cupcakes all of a sudden become like very desirable. I don't know what happened here. They have golden poop. They were a huge underdog. The name is apt. I still don't really look at any of these animals as though they're that inspiring either, but let's start there. If I could boggle your mind a little bit. I do think we run this, though. I also don't really look at our squad and find it that inspiring. The best animal on the squad right now is definitely melon armor. And yet, we come away with another win. If this ladybug's gonna pop, it's gotta pop soon. Hold on, hold on. Level 3 mosquito into a bison, into a Selmy. Totally fine. You gotta think. I'm thinking keeping a cupcake seems fine to me. I think we could talk about now using a rabbit as a scaler. Maybe a little late for the caterpillar or not. You know, I could be wrong. We can now sell a ladybug, but as long as it's still getting buffs, I don't really mind keeping it around. This is very unfortunate. Or is it? No, it's totally fine. Pretty cute. You kill your scaler and then lose. It's a technique I've never heard of before. Let's go level 2 rabbit. I know we keep kicking the can down the road. 1, 3, 4, 1, 1. You know what I have to do. I just don't have the strength to do it. I have to buy the poodle. I wanted to keep buffing the mosquito because the fish is going to get sold. But we don't want to do that yet. Because it's useful for now. The fish has to get sold because the mosquito has to stick around. So we have 1, 3, 4. We need a tier 2. Maybe we just got what we were looking for. Or yeah, no, this is fine. I think this is actually like short of getting like an early dog or an early puppy with like, I don't know, maybe a swan or something. What the? Never mind. I was going to say that we have the ideal team. I take it back. My opponent has the ideal team. There must have been some cupcakes involved there. You know what, you son of a gun? You roll cupcakes, I roll cupcakes. I hate, by the way, I hate that I'm about to sell a unit with melon armor. But I think the faster you do it, the better it is. Wow, that was easy. Sell me? Now I'm like, because the server's taking a minute, I'm like, I sold the fish, right? I didn't sell anything else. I know I got this level 2 rabbit, I haven't bought any food, but one day I'm going to buy food. It's all going to come together, okay? I am a people person. The engineers don't know how to talk to people. Well, we're waiting. You're going to force my hand. I'm going to have to record an Isaac episode today. Good old Isaac. Servers and Isaac never break. Come on, man. Just give me my gold. Maybe something will go wrong through the... We'll get a buffer, integer buffer overload. It'll give us an infinite amount of gold. Not likely, huh? Not likely. Okay, here's my deal. I really don't want to lose this round. So for this round, why don't you just give me incredible buffalo scaling and freeze this. I still want our peacock to level up, okay? I just want to do as few server-side calls as possible. I am trying to build the lowest bandwidth team you've ever seen in Super Auto Pets. Do you think it could work? Oh, let's go. Okay. Ooh, you need garlic? Nah, I think we're happy. A turtle would hit the spot. I mean, a turtle would probably beat our peacock, honestly. Everyone just chill. All right, put me back in the queue. This is a good thing. Teamwood is they're gonna give it a couple days. We're gonna work the demand through. Then they're gonna look at it through a business case. They're gonna talk to Andy Jassy. Everybody says Jeff Bezos. Nah, man, Jeff Bezos retired. He's now a member of the board of directors. We got to start referring to CEO Andy Jassy, okay? Amazon. Do we need more AWS? He's going to talk to the CEO of Google. I don't remember who the CEO of Google is. I know Susan is the CEO of YouTube. Hey, you know what? This is a great opportunity. You're watching a man slowly lose his mind. We're taking like 3 minutes around. Hey, Bixby. Who is the current sitting CEO of Google? Sundar Pichai. I did not know. That was 7 years ago. Holy cow. Hey, Bixby. Who does number 2 work for? Oh, man. Oh, you just got pranked, dude. Anyway, any second though, we're going to find an opponent. This is going to be good, man. Anybody else have no friends? And they got to play pranks on your digital assistant, Bixby? Everyone, I don't understand, by the way. Why does everyone laugh when I say, hey, Bixby? I understand, you know, not... Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to... I didn't mean to. It was my mistake. I didn't mean to do a search for how I didn't mean to. I get it. Like, you all, everybody, like, the internet's so divided, man. It's so messed up. People are like, I hate Apple. And then I go, hey, burp, burp. And then they go, Bixby, laugh, Lamau, Raffle. I'm like, what are you laughing at? They're like, we use Siri. I thought you hated Apple. Form a coherent moral position and then act in accordance with it. 2022 challenge, impossible. You gotta go. This is better. It's genuinely better. And honestly, this, even on round 9, this probably does some work for you, man. And then if we have to, /woo, I would take this any day of the week. I don't think, maybe we don't care about getting a level 2. Maybe instead the thing we care most about is maybe just when we get a better utility unit, popping it here. That makes sense to me. That seems sensible. Look at this. The servers are freaking lubricated again. We're popping off. None of these units appeal to me that much. I'm going to say the Buffalo's doing okay by its own. I'm going to give my rabbit a little buff, to be honest. I'm going to make sure the rabbit's getting some HP, partly to justify its own existence. For the time being, why don't you take this? Obviously, we'll take you up to level 2 next time. And then we're looking for a Scorpion to fit in here as well. If we can, or more poodles, honestly, would also be fine. But if we can get a scorpion to fit in here, I'd be laughing all the way to the bank. The blood bank. Beautiful wins. Hold on. I actually think we're getting somewhere here. What round is it? Round 11? I'm feeling good. Not good enough? I think you could do an eagle, but I'm going to say we're going to get something even better. I don't think a gorilla's... Oh, you know what? Now that I think about it, a gorilla would get scaled. Why not give it a try? I do also like the idea that the gorilla in position 2 means it's fairly likely to get hit by a bus or something through splash damage, which could generate some coconut armor for it. You ever think about... Okay, you ever think about that? You ever think about how that could have worked? That's just solid team. Okay, congrats. You got a penguin and a snake. All right. I see you visit the Super Auto Pet subreddit. Congratulations. There's dozens of us. I'm going to try to get this gorilla to pop because it's more novel than just feeding your bison over and over. You know what? For the time being, I know this is going to get overridden, but basically, we get to give 2 HP to our gorilla. I'm okay with that. And it'll get overridden by the coconut armor. I've seen it happen a 1,000 times, okay? Now, it won't get a... It did get a chance because of the rhino's ability. You thought the rhino was on your side. Let's go. Huge plays. Don't need it, man. You don't need it. Now, you could have the coconut get overridden by... Or garlic override coconut instead. It's much more sensible. Want foods that do something, please? The foods that do something challenge. Melon could also get overridden, but at some point we got it. Like cooler heads have to prevail, right? Pizza, okay. This squad's got a certain je ne sais quoi, man. There's not that many things we lose to except better squads. Now that I think about it, it's probably a little obvious, but... Come on! We only done 2 rounds this video. 4 squad. Oh, no. Oh, no, it worked. It worked. Okay, 4 squad, 2 buffalo. 2 bison. I mean, what an interesting... I mean, you almost had me. I can't really pretend you didn't almost have me. I think it's a little too late for that poodle now that I don't see any extra ones in the shop. This is what we wanted. And again... I'm not sure if this is the most efficient Cupcake 2022 challenge impossible. By the way, while we sit here waiting for the server to, you know, prioritize us, whatever happened to cupcakes? When I moved to Vancouver from a much smaller metropolitan area, cupcakes were popping off, and it kind of felt like that was like, this was 2012. It was like a culinary mini wave. There was like one cupcake store that was like, whoa, that's cool. They only sell cupcakes? I didn't know you could do that. And then over the next like 3 or 4 years, it was like cupcakes were everywhere. People were getting cupcakes for their birthday parties instead of cakes. People were catering cupcakes to corporations and stuff like that. There were cupcake kiosks showed up in the mall. They freaking receded like crazy, man. Like Gregor Mendel's hairline. Now it's like... I mean, I've been saying this as if it's a trend that's going to wash away, but that's not what I mean by this. Bubble tea, when I first moved to Vancouver, there were a lot of bubble tea places, but depending on your neighborhood, you might be like, oh, sure, let's drive 10 minutes to get bubble tea. Now it's like, let's walk 10 seconds and take your pick. Bubble tea is still popping to an enormous degree. Hold on. Coconut? Coconut? No coconut. No coconut. Scientists have reconstructed the voice box of an ancient Egyptian pharaoh, and it can only make one sound. Anyway, we managed to make it work. Level 2 gorilla win. Always an interesting one. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. The servers will lubricate. I hope. I can't promise. Click the like button if you enjoyed the episode. Subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you next time. See ya.